Hey guys, Emmanuel here, and in this video, we're gonna build out a 36-point touch campaign for your real estate clients. But most importantly, we're gonna do it in a way where you do not have to really worry about creating too much content. This is the exact same process I use for myself as well as all of my clients. Today, you're gonna see how quick and easy it is to plan and to organize your touches for your 2020 calendar. So I'm sure you've heard of it from your brokerages. You know, staying top of mind really helps you generate some of that repeat business. You know, the 80-20 rule, 80% of your revenue really comes from 20% of your sphere. Now, the strategy isn't new. I'm sure it's been preached by many of your brokerages. You know, Keller Williams is really one of the most popular ones that came out with a 33 touch campaign. But in our case, we're gonna do a 36 touch because mathematically it equates to about 3 touches per month to each one of your clients. So the idea is I'd like for you guys to follow along with this workshop. I've linked 2 links in the description below. The first one is to a blank spreadsheet that we're gonna build out for the duration of this video. And the second one is the completed one that you can use as a reference point. But before I get into this, make sure you hit that like button. It really helps us expose the video to a larger audience, and it also helps support the channel so we can continue to curate really awesome content for you in the future. All right, so let's get into it. So here is your 2020 36 touch roadmap. The idea here and the goal here is to outline the 36 touches that you're gonna create in order to reach out and touch your sphere at least 36 times next year. So let's take a look. All right, so I've separated the spreadsheet into 2 sections. The first section is really just about the ideas. The goal here is to create really broad ideas that kind of cater to the masses, you know? Don't just put like just listed and just sold as ideas. You know, it's really hard to predict those and project those out for the year. You wanna go really broad. Then your second section is all about your calendar, and we're gonna build that together. Section 1 is all about ideas. So let's start filling in some of these blanks. I typically like to start with the low-hanging fruit, and some of the easiest low-hanging fruit is the US holidays. You know, just popping them into your calendar, you pretty much knock out more than 50% of your touches. So let's start with that. Next, let's talk about important dates to remember. So these are typically like tax day or maybe, you know, daylight savings in the fall and in the spring. So let's pop that into the spreadsheet. Now, if you're a sports fan, then, you know, maybe talking about the playoffs is a good way to really spark up a conversation. So let's add that into the spreadsheet as well. Another great idea would be maybe to have a contest, you know, and give away something valuable that your clients might like a Ring doorbell. You know, typically during the dog days of summer when you don't really have too much to say, this would be a good stopgap. So let's put in contest or giveaway. Another great idea is the just say hi touch. It's pretty useful when you want to catch up with a specific client, maybe grab a cup of coffee. I usually like to do this at least once a quarter. So let's get the just say hi idea on here. Another really great idea would be to throw an event, maybe a pizza party or grabbing happy hour. You know, really give your sphere an opportunity to network. So let's get and events on here. Another really great idea is to share an article, you know, something that your readers might find interesting. So let's get that on here, share an article. Lastly, if you're a real estate agent, then you'd probably want to share a market report. I'm not really the biggest fan of these just simply because everyone does them and it's really hard to find a way to stand out from the rest. But hey, if you're kind of running dry on ideas, then let's get that on the idea list. Quarterly report. Now, these are just my ideas, but you know, different strokes for different folks. If you have some other really great ideas, you know, this is your opportunity to let your creativity flow. All right, let's start filling in section 2 of the spreadsheet. Let's start with the low-hanging fruit, which would be the US holidays. So I'm gonna pull up a browser. Let's do a Google search for US holidays, 2020. And you already know that some of these are a little lengthy. I think this one is a pretty easy one to look at. Yeah, this will work. This is perfect. Okay, so let's put this side by side with our spreadsheet and let's start filling in the blanks. All right, January, we have New Year's Day. We have MLK Day. Don't really do Belly Laugh Day, but all right. So February 2nd, Groundhog, Lincoln's birthday. Ooh, that's a pretty popular one. Valentine's Day. Then let's do President's Day. I think that covers February unless you really want to do Mardi Gras. But you know, to be honest, I prefer to do daylight savings. I mentioned it in idea number 2, important dates to remember. So let's stick daylight savings on there. March, we have, well, technically daylight savings goes in March, but I'm gonna put it in February. March, we have St. Patrick's Day. And then April, oh, that's a great one, April Fool's Day. And of course, Easter. And you know, being April and again, reverting back to important dates to remember, let's stick in Tax Day. All right, so May, let's go with Cinco de Mayo, Mother's Day, and of course, Memorial Day. June, I know we don't have too much, and I know when we get into the summer, it's really the dog days of summer, it's really hard to find holidays for that section, so we can fill in the gaps with some of the other ideas. June, Father's Day, it's probably the biggest one. Then July, we can go straight into Independence Day. And then of course, September would be Labor Day. And I think that's it for September. So now October, Halloween. Feel free to stick in Columbus Day depending on your views. And in November, let's stick in Thanksgiving. And of course, the big holiday sales. It's a really great point to, or a topic to bring up, Black Friday. Oh, you know what? And Veterans Day. I missed that one. November 11th. Okay, and then into December, which essentially brings us into Christmas. And, you know, I typically like to do a Christmas touch with a little bit of the New Year's, but I always like to do a New Year's one right after New Year's. That usually resonates better. So that fills in really most of our calendar, or our touches already for our 2020 calendar. So now let's continue to fill in the rest of the blanks. You know, important dates to remember, I think tax day is a big day and we have that already. And of course, daylight savings. I know we got it for February, and let's get it in for the other end of the year. When is daylight savings 2020? November 1st. Well, we have something for November, but hey, maybe we can do a post or a touch on it at the end of October. Perfect. Okay. So now back to our ideas list. Sports. So sports is a big thing, or a useful thing when it comes to, you know, breaking the ice or just bringing up a topic. Typically, if a sports team is in the playoffs, it's an easy way to strike up conversation. I'm a big NBA, NFL, and MLB guy, so I'll probably add that to my calendar. It's really up to you if you want to add it to yours. And I know the playoffs are probably the best times to really spark up a conversation. So let's start with the NBA. Let's fill that in for June. Next would be the NFL, which is probably in January. So we don't have the Super Bowl on here, but we can definitely bring it up. So let's do NFL/Super Bowl as a touch. And then let's talk MLB, which typically happens in, you know, September, October. And let's do MLB playoffs. All right, so awesome. That gives us about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 touches left to fill out in the spreadsheet. Continuing down the list, we have contest or giveaway. So remember I said that dog days of summer is usually useful to give out something like a Ring doorbell it looks like August is pretty dry for us. So maybe we can do a promo for giveaway, and let's say a Ring doorbell, but we'll do this a promo email number 1. Then we'll do a second one and we'll make that number 2. And at the end of August, let's do a giveaway announcement. Perfect. Okay. Now let's keep grinding this out. We're almost there. We're almost finished. Just say hi touch. Like I said, I like to do this once a quarter, just a way to catch up with your clients. Not all of them are gonna respond, yes, hey, let's go grab some coffee, but it is a nice touch. So let's fill in some blanks and really generate that just say hi, hello email or message on the calendar. Let's see. I'm gonna go for, let's say March, because it looks pretty dry in March. And let's do maybe one in July. And let's do another one in December. Now, the only reason I'm not gonna do September for a Just Say Hi touch is because actually my birthday is in September. So one of the things that I like to do is, try to pull all my clients together and throw maybe a pizza party or a quick happy hour to gather them up and just say hello. So let's do a birthday touch. And then after that birthday touch, make sure you take lots of photos so that you can create a recap and something that you can use for everyone that couldn't attend, show them what they missed out on, and really try to help promote your birthday for next year. All right, so now that brings us down to 1, 2, 3, 4 more spaces. So the last 2 ideas I have on here are, share an article and a quarterly report. I'm a big fan of just sharing useful articles. So I would think that maybe doing a share article for spring cleaning in March would be a good idea. Let's do spring cleaning article. And then in December, I like to do a goal setting article to really dictate what the following year is gonna look like, for your clients. And then lastly, and again, this is up to you, but if you really wanna fill in the remaining gaps, you can stick in that quarterly report. I'm not a big fan of it. That's why I'm not trying to really promote it, but I'm gonna put it here in July just because there's an empty space. And in June, since it's right next to July, then maybe I can put in another article. I can share maybe things to do during the summer. And just like that, we are done. You now have a 36 touch roadmap to give you an idea of what you need to create and what you need to do to make sure that you're touching or staying top of mind with your clients at least 36 times next year. All right, the purpose of this roadmap is really to make sure that you're creating your 36 touches or your guide for what needs to be created and syndicated for 2020. So whether it be email, postcard, a newsletter, a note card, a telephone call, or a text message, it's really up to you to choose what medium you want to use to reach out to them. Now make sure you check back because we're creating a whole other video with regards to easy ways to create the content for these 36 touches. Anyway, I hope you found this video valuable. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get notified whenever we're going to be publishing new videos. See you guys next time.